I'm Abigail Matthews. I'm 32, and tonight, at my sister's engagement party, I was introduced to everyone as her little sister who answers phones at a courthouse. She said it out loud, with a smile, in front of her fiancé. What Hannah didn't realize was that I've seen Nathan before, not at a family dinner, not at a bar, in my courtroom, because I'm not a secretary. I'm not an admin assistant. I'm the youngest judge ever appointed to our district in the past 50 years, but to my family, I'm just Abby, the easy one, the quiet one, the one they never quite saw. Tonight, Hannah made her usual show, flaunting her ring, praising Nathan's career, throwing casual jabs at mine. Abby works at the courthouse, she laughed. She probably files Nathan's paperwork. Nathan kept glancing at me throughout the night, confused, like he was trying to place me. Then came the moment. A single question, one I've waited years to answer. What exactly do you do at the courthouse, Abby? I looked right at him, and I said one word. Judge. The table went silent. My sister's smile froze, and the man she was about to marry realized he had stood before me in court, more than once. Before I tell you what happened next, have you ever been dismissed by your own family? Ever stayed silent just to keep the peace? Drop a comment and subscribe if you've ever had to hide how far you've come, just to protect someone else's ego. After Thanksgiving, the lie settled in like fog. No one asked for clarification. No one cared to. At family gatherings, I became the sister who worked at the courthouse, which somehow translated to the one who files paperwork and answers phones. Still doing admin work, Abby? Uncle Frank would ask, smiling like he was being supportive. I'd nod. Still at the courthouse. The lie rolled off my tongue like a second language. What they didn't see was that I'd moved from clerkship to the DA's office. 5 years. Nearly 100 cases. Conviction rate. One of the highest in the district. I wasn't making coffee. I was building a reputation for being fair, thorough, and relentless in the courtroom. But I never shared that at Sunday dinners. I learned long ago. No one listens when they've already decided who you are. Then came the call from Judge Thompson. Abigail, he said. I'm retiring. And I've recommended you as my successor. My breath caught in my throat. Me. There's no one more qualified, he said simply. 3 weeks later, I was sworn in as the youngest judge appointed to the district in over 50 years. Legal journals covered it. Lawyers I'd admired sent handwritten notes. Only one family member was there. My cousin Jessica, who had always known the truth. She hugged me after the ceremony. So, are you finally going to tell them? I just smiled. What would be the point? 2 years passed. 2 years of courtroom work that challenged and fulfilled me in ways I never imagined. 2 years of silence from the people I still, somehow, wanted to impress. At home, Hannah's stories got more grandiose. Leading a $3 million campaign for a Fortune 500 client, she'd brag. Mom would light up. Dad would refill her wine glass. And me? Abby's still at the courthouse, someone would say, like I was stuck on a never-ending internship. I'd bring a nice bottle of wine, help clean up, leave quietly. It was easier than explaining. Easier than watching my mother's eyes glaze over the second I said, Judge. I told myself it didn't matter. That I didn't need their validation. But every time Hannah opened her mouth to talk about her success, something in me clenched. Because I wasn't just overlooked. I was erased. And part of me wondered, what would happen if they ever saw me for who I truly was? Hannah's engagement party was everything I expected. Pinterest perfect. Overdone. And entirely about her. The house was dripping in string lights and white florals. A massive congratulations Hannah and Nathan banner hung over the backyard entrance. I arrived early. Out of obligation more than excitement. And was immediately put to work. Abby, can you help with the drink station? Mom asked without looking up. Hannah wants it perfect for when Nathan's parents get here. Even on her big day, Hannah had to control every detail. And everyone let her. By 6 p.m., a black BMW pulled into the driveway. Hannah stepped out first, radiant in a designer dress. Her diamond ring caught the light as she waved dramatically. Nathan followed, handsome in a tailored suit, charming, polished, and unknowingly, standing on the edge of a revelation. They worked the crowd like royalty. Hannah made sure everyone knew Nathan was the youngest partner at his law firm. How he just won a 7-figure case. She was electric with attention. He looked slightly overwhelmed. Jessica, my cousin, the only one who knew the truth, whispered in my ear. He doesn't recognize you, does he? No, I said, sipping champagne. Not yet. Hannah eventually brought him over. Jessica, Nathan, have you met Abby? Nathan smiled warmly, extended his hand. Nice to finally meet you. Hannah talks about you all the time. She works at some courthouse, Hannah added sweetly. Admin stuff. Probably underqualified, but we all have to find our level. Nathan gave her a tight smile. I'm sure Abby can manage just fine. We moved to dinner. I sat quietly at the far end while Hannah basked in the spotlight. Toasts were made. Hannah glowed. Then she raised her glass and said, "Some people argue landmark cases." She smiled at Nathan. Others answer phones. Like my sister Abby. That was it. Nathan turned to me, brow furrowed. Wait. Abby Matthews. County Courthouse. I held his gaze. I could see it click in his eyes. The flicker of recognition. His face went pale. What exactly do you do at the courthouse, Abby? I set my glass down. My heart pounded. Judge, I said. The word hit the table like a gavel. Silence. Frozen faces. Forks midair. You're joking. Hannah laughed, but her voice cracked. She's not. Nathan said quietly. I've stood in her courtroom. Bradford Pharmaceuticals. That was your case. My parents stared at me like I'd turned into someone else. The family's admin girl just broke the narrative. Hannah's face twisted. This is my engagement party, she hissed. And you, of course, you had to make it about you. I didn't even respond. I didn't need to. The truth was out. And there was no taking it back. The moment the word judge left my mouth, the entire table froze. My mother's fork clinked against her plate. My father reached for the wine bottle like he needed something stronger. Hannah just stared. You're not serious, she said, eyes darting between Nathan and me. She's not serious. Nathan didn't answer her. He was still looking at me like he was putting 1,000 puzzle pieces together. Judge Matthews. He said quietly. Northern District Court. That was you. You presided over Bradford. You're a judge? My dad asked, dumbfounded. Since when? 3 years, I said evenly. My mother's face turned pale. But, you said you were assisting a judge. I did. I was clerking. No one asked after that. The silence deepened. You could feel the ground shifting. Then Hannah exploded. This is ridiculous. She let us all think she was a secretary. Who even does that? You're lying. You're just doing this to embarrass me. I didn't flinch. I didn't lie. I just stopped correcting you. Hannah looked at Nathan like she expected him to jump in. But he didn't. He was staring at me. Why didn't you say anything? Because no one ever asked, I said quietly. Because every time I tried to share something, it got brushed aside. Jessica spoke up from the far end of the table. I went to her swearing in. It was in every legal publication. Uncle Frank cleared his throat. Oh my God. I told her last Christmas that honest admin work builds character. He looked mortified. My grandmother squeezed my hand. I always knew you were something special, dear. Hannah shoved back from her chair, the scrape of metal on stone jolting the table. This is my engagement party, she shouted. And once again, Abby finds a way to steal the spotlight. I didn't say a word until you pushed me, I said, calm but firm. Until you mocked me in front of your fiancé and half the family, for the last time. Nathan stood slowly. Hannah, he started. But she stepped away from him, eyes brimming with betrayal. You knew. You knew she was a judge and didn't tell me. I didn't know until now, he said. I never connected your sister to Judge Matthews. Hannah looked at everyone, parents, cousins, guests, realizing the room was no longer orbiting around her. This is unbelievable, she whispered. You've ruined everything. Then she turned and stormed inside, heels clicking on stone like punctuation. Nathan hesitated, gave me a long, conflicted look, then followed her. The rest of us sat there, stunned. Champagne warm. Dinner cold. The lie was gone. And so was the illusion. The next morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls and over 30 texts. Most were from relatives. Apologetic. Shocked. Curious. 3 were from my parents. None were from Hannah. I spent the day in quiet limbo. Half relieved, half hollow. Around noon, there was a knock at my door. It was Nathan. He looked tired, unsure. She doesn't know I'm here, he said. May I? I let him in. Made coffee. He wandered around my apartment, pausing at the framed law degree on my wall. Columbia, he said softly. Impressive. Hannah went to NYU, I replied automatically, the reflex to defer still deeply ingrained. He turned to me. You were extraordinary in court. And last night. I think you showed remarkable restraint. I didn't feel restrained. I felt like I'd finally let go of a boulder I'd been holding for years. He hesitated. She's hurting. But so am I. The way she spoke to you. The need to tear you down in front of everyone. He trailed off. You're rethinking the engagement, I said. I don't know, he admitted. But I can't unsee it now. And I don't want to marry someone who needs to outshine her own sister to feel worthy. After he left, I sat alone. For the first time in a long while, I didn't feel small. A few days later, Hannah showed up at my door. No makeup, hair in a messy bun, eyes red. She didn't say much, just, "Can I come in?" We sat on the couch, silence stretching between us like old scar tissue. Why didn't you tell me? She finally asked. Would it have mattered? I asked back. She didn't answer. Instead, she whispered, I was supposed to be the successful one. You still can be, I said. But not by erasing me. She nodded slowly. Nathan's thinking about postponing the wedding. I said nothing. I'm not here to blame you, she added. I'm here because I think I lost myself in this version of me that I created. That was the first honest thing she'd said to me in years. Before she left, she looked at me and said, I am proud of you, Abby. I always have been. And maybe that's the part that scared me most. It wasn't a fix. But it was a start. 3 months later, we were, not best friends, but better. I stopped hiding. My parents started listening. Hannah started therapy. And honesty. I didn't need validation anymore. But I got it. And for the first time, it felt like all of us had stopped pretending. Have you ever hidden your success to protect someone else's ego? Have you ever played small just to keep the peace? If my story resonated with you, leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. Because you should never have to dim your light just to make someone else comfortable. If you enjoyed the story and want to hear more just like it, don't forget to like the video, drop a comment with your thoughts and subscribe for more stories. Your support helps these stories reach more people, and trust me, the next one, it's even wilder.